I read Sayonara Eri.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's good.
It's a one shot by Fujimoto Tatsuki, the creator of Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
You guys just kept giving me depressing shit. I realize this now. Why did you all give me depressing stuff?
Because we love the depressing shit.
I guess I did.
Yeah, all of my shit was just miserable.
No, Dark Side is like is hope in the inside melancholy.
That was chill. That was nice. I finished on Dark Side, so it was kind of nice to just like just listen to something and be like, all right.
Yeah.
So do you want to describe what Sayonara 80 is?
It's kind of interesting to describe, but it basically opens up with a mum being like, look, I'm dying. Please film my last moments. Film everything. And so he's filming everything. He's showing all her mum doing these things. She's battling this disease. We don't know what. And then eventually, you know, we realize in the first few moments, while he's like, we're seeing these scenes through the camera, that it's actually being played to a crowd in school during like a film festival. And then right at the end of the movie, when he's about to go, you know, his dad's like, come on, your mum's about to pass away. We got to go see her. He's like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And then as he says, I can't do it, the hospital explodes and he jumps like away from it. And then everyone in the school is like, what the fuck? Like, dude, because his mum actually dies in the story. So he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Why would you ruin a heartfelt like movie and you're a monster? Your mum would have been pissed. And so he gets like, he's like, oh shit, fuck, this is the worst. This is so terrible. He's like, I know what to do. I'm going to kill myself. So he goes to this rooftop and he's like, all right. And he records a little message saying goodbye. And he's like, all right, well, guys, you guys did this to me. I'm bullied. I'm going to do it. So he goes to the rooftop, about to jump. This girl's like, no, don't do that. You'll inconvenience everyone. And by the way, this hospital's good. You should go and do it with a shit one. Oh no, so this one's bad. This is a good hospital. You should go and do it at a shit one and inconvenience them. He was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, good idea.
And then she's like, well, you know what? She's like, I saw that movie you made. That was fucking awesome. You should come and watch movies with me. So they go to this abandoned hospital, watch tons of movies, form like this kind of romance. And then it's when it starts to get weird. It starts to get like, you're like, all right, okay. So it starts to get like, it starts to slowly repeat itself. She's like, hey, so I can't remember the exact order, but on the lines of, she's like, by the way, I'm a vampire and I'm going to die. So could you film everything for me? And you're like, what? She's like, I want you to make a movie about me. He's like, yeah, sure. Okay. So they start filming everything. They have all these like couple dates. It's really romantic, really sad. Really sad. I cried at one point. It was so sad. I started tearing up because I was like, oh damn, this is so fucking emotional. And then she eventually passes away. And there's something else that happened as well. I can't remember. But she basically passes away. And then it turns out she didn't pass away. But sorry, hold on. I skipped over something. Sorry, I'm trying to recap all this story for you. You should definitely read it yourself. So she wants to help. The reason why she wants to help him make a movie is because she wants to get back at everyone in school, show him that he can make a movie that'll make everyone cry and touch their heartstrings. So she helps him do that by, I guess, dying. So, you know, and they have this heartfelt movie, does it, and then, you know, it's very emotional, and then his life goes on, and he's fucking miserable. And then suddenly one day, she's there again, even though he's older. She's there again. And then she explains like, you see, it is true. I am a vampire actually, because we thought it was fake. So she's like, I am a vampire actually. And the movie actually helped me regain my memories because I die every like 300 years or something. So I thank you for that. That's a lot better than reading a note. He's like, what? And then I guess as he leaves the hospital being like, what the fuck was that? The abandoned hospital explodes. And
it's
then that's
it's one of the greatest endings.
Oh, that ending to that short was just like
that blew my mind.
That was like one of the best endings to a one shot I think I've like ever read. Just because it's really weird. It's really confusing at times to think like you don't know what is reality and what is not. But I feel like it was the most Tatsuki Fujimoto thing I've like ever.
What else did he write?
Chainsaw Man.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very. Yeah, the character. Actually, the guy looked like when he was old. He looked like the smoking guy from Chainsaw Man.
Oh yeah, I guess he did.
What's impressive as well is that he wrote that without telling anyone. Like he's still writing Chainsaw Man. In the midst of him writing Chainsaw Man every month, he was just like, I'm just gonna write this 160-page one shot and then just give it to my editor and see what he thinks.
Yeah,
it was really cool. I mean, I liked how open for interpretation it was.
Yeah. There's always this balance where sometimes I hate it if there is too much open for interpretation where I'm like, I don't even know what you're trying to say anymore. But like, I think
there needs to be something. Like something needs to be said.
Yeah.
But it's okay for it to not all make sense.
Yeah. Exactly.
There was one moment in particular that I thought was really cool, and where I felt like they took it to the next level, was as they were filming, or I think when they were filming this thing about Eri, the show, he'd already filmed his mom. Now he's filming, basically doing the same thing again.
Yeah.
Like a loop. He goes like, no, actually, my mom was like horrible to me. And then he starts showing footage where she was just being like, she was like, no, I look terrible in this, or you're a piece of shit. Why can't you do this right?
The parts he didn't put in the film.
The parts he didn't put in the film. And where our mom's like, look, and then it turns out, we find out that his mom is like a TV director. Yeah. She's like, I want this to be a story about me fighting cancer and surviving it. So it needs to be like motivational. And she's like chewing him out, being horrible to him about it, making him do this. And it's probably like already hard enough for him. But obviously the movie that we see in the start is totally different to that. It's very heartfelt.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, that's really cool. What a cool way to show like, it's not,
everything isn't as it seems.
Yeah, media is not always so
it's all about perspective.
Black and white. And which I found really interesting because then it was kind of preparing you to be like, look, it's probably going to see the same deal again with the next loop. So don't believe everything you're going to see. And then obviously right at the end, after this really heartfelt, emotional thing, they start to then show you again, hey, Eri wasn't great to him.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what we're being told.
Yeah.
But then as well, I suppose that's meant to make you think like, is this a fair, is the mangaka being fair to us by telling us the way he's feeding us information is very, it's very purposeful in that he wants you to doubt this now.
Yeah.
And so and I really enjoyed that he was expressing like how hard it is to write a story and express ideas and putting ideas in people's head without being too forceful.
Yeah.
Like how do you tell someone, how are you as the author to decide who's bad?
Yeah. And
Very
I
interesting.
think the fact that he's made you think this much about like I guess a story, because this is I guess this is like the most I've ever heard you talk about like a manga or anything like that. Yeah. It's I think that's just like the genius that I've Goodbye Sayonara Eri was like what convinced me that he was just a fucking genius in storytelling, because there are just so many like little things about how he like tells the story or like what he shows, and the way he shows the story was also like so fucking unique to like manga as well. The fact that it was like all like 4 panels, and then
the way the fact that even just at the beginning when you're watching this movie, the way he like draws each panel to make it the exact frame of an iPhone screen, and like you can see like in between shots
like
of like when the camera moves, that was just genius.
Yeah, I really like the even though I went through them quite fast. Really like the sections when there was tons of panels that were just slight movements.
Yeah,
that was really cool. I like the whole thing. I thought it was really good.
It's very cinematic.
The ending was also kind of cool. I liked that it kind of threw everything out and was like, well, it's up to you what you and I felt like the message that it was not the message, but I felt like what he was trying to say was like, listen, the story is not the important part. What's true and what isn't is not important. It is about being able to understand what you are being fed, the information, and how you interpret that.
Yeah, because I thought like I remember like turning the page and like just the hospital exploding.
The double page spread explosion.
After like the whole reveal was like, I'm an actual vampire, and you're just like, oh, that's what the fuck? That's weird. Is this real? I don't know. Is this real? And then you just open and you turn the page, hospital explodes, and you're like, holy fuck.
To me, it all felt like a kind of a comment on that, like, why can't these characters be real if they're in a fantasy thing?
Yeah, right.
And that's the explosion I felt, and what he meant by adding fantasy to everything. Yeah, it felt like his kind of commentary on the fact that you can still have these real characters, and then being in a fantasy or fantasy elements doesn't take away from that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you being able to discern that yourself. Yeah, that was really good. I really, really liked it. I thought it was amazing.
Yeah,
good.
I mean, I think everyone can have their own interpretation of the story because I think, you know, I think Goodbye Sayonara Eri is just like it's just a really, really tight package as well. It's just like, how many pages is it? Like 170 pages?
40-minute read.
150, 160
yeah,
pages.
just like a volume of manga, like a 40 minute read. And you get an absolute roller coaster of a story that you think you know what's happening, and then it throws you a curveball, and then it throws you other curveballs, and then by the end, you kind of just, it's one of those manga where you just have to like, you finish the last page, you just have to think about it for a bit.
Yeah.
Like,
I just sat there like, shit.
Yeah. Like, shit.
It's like, damn.
And I think that's just, and I think a story like that is just so fucking powerful, and only few people can do that.
Agreed.
And also, I think every genius needs to be a little bit weird.
Oh, 100%.
Which I think Fujimoto definitely is.
Yeah.
He's easily the
very
weirdest
much so.
motherfucker in the manga industry today.
Banger.
Yeah,
Actual banger.
What a fucking banger.
His other one shot he wrote before Sayonara 80, Look Back, is getting a movie.
Yeah, it's getting a movie.
End of this month,
That
which
one-
I am watching
that
because I
one
love that one.
Isn't
Animated.
animated by
Animated
Studio
film,
Mappa.
yeah, Mappa.
Yeah,
wow.
that one is
Mappa.
actually not as weird as Sayonara Eri.
Okay.
That one's a little bit more straightforward.
That one
but,
made me cry.
That one made me cry as
Yeah,
well.
so I'm
I mean,
really
so
excited to
did
watch it.
Sayonara Eri. That one made me cry
Look
as
Back
well.
made me cry.
But this is the manga. Have you seen the latest Chainsaw Man panels that have been posted?
I have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually caught up to date with Chainsaw Man.
I was like,
yeah.
this man's on something else, man.
Yeah.
This man just draws what he wants.
It's
and-
crazy.
Yeah.
In a good way.
In a great way. In a great way.